We're just about to start work on Matt from Fab's engine, so we thought we'd talk you through what it is and what it was. Matt was lucky enough to find all the constituent parts of the engine. It was originally a Miglia engine from quite a few years ago. So we've had it in, we've stripped everything down, checked everything over, there's some new components going into it. So it's going to be effectively a Miglia Plus type of engine, which for the Libra class isn't a bad starting point to get some experience in it without going extreme on the engine spec. So the block is still 1293cc as it would be for a Miglia. It's got a centre strap conversion on it. It's been dry decked to match the head. So the crankshaft is a Metro Turbo crankshaft, which was night-threaded from the factory. And it had previously been wedged. So we've basically checked there's not any cracks in it, checked the sizing on it, and then balanced it. It needed a little bit of balancing, but wasn't too bad. So the crank was pretty good. Matt's got some steel HP rods to go into it. We're going to put some Omega cast 6.5cc pistons into it. A very robust piston along with the NPR ring pack. Cylinder head, again, was a Miglia head which hadn't seen much use. So an ideal for a Libra class where it's more mid-range top end power. So this was all stripped down. New guides fitted. But you can see the port one's quite big in these Miglia heads. New guides fitted, new springs, new top caps, new collets, just to give us a confidence in it and make sure everything's good to go. So that was the head, not a huge amount. Again, good casting, not cracked, nothing wrong with it. And we're going to pair it up with a Swift-Tune SW23 cam. So it's going to have a little bit more cam than the 649 base cams, which the Miglias have to run with. So it should, help it give a little bit more for the Libra class. So we're going to get into the build on this. We'll take some more photos and probably another video, and we'll go from there. Cheers.
Don't hit me with the mark.
Right.
Red.
It is red.
Tissue sticking.
Just to stop any dirt getting inside the engine.
What's in the mailbox box?
This is the ECU.
Magical. When can I stop recording? This camera's getting really heavy.
I know, it's a big old camera.
Can I stop now?
Yeah. So that is my race engine, built by Specialist Components, ready to go. There'll be some video from the engine dyno in a minute coming up. So if you haven't seen any of the older videos, I basically bought an old race engine that had been built and then sat for about 10 years. never been used. It came with the block, the head, the gearbox, which is a straight cut gearbox. Lots of things missing. So John has rebuilt the gearbox into a different casing. Everything was good with the box. He said maybe there was an issue, something with the reverse gear, but it was an easy fix anyway, so there's nothing major with the gearbox. So it's been rebuilt into a new casing with a cross pin diff, which came with the engine parts. And then John has supplied a lot of parts as well, like all these billet casings, pulleys, all the little, all these little bits. Full electrical system with all the bracketry, all the sensors, plugs, bungs, the ECU, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I had to source some other bits, which was the flywheel and the clutch assembly. So I got a complete race clutch and flywheel assembly from MED, which is pre-balanced and ready to bolt on. And then I got the balanced front pulley from MED as well, which has the trigger wheel, which then has John's pickup for the crank, which connects into the ECU. This clutch arm is also one of John's products. So the, what ratio? I think I've got a 3:7 ratio actually in the box. And then the drop gears, which are a set of straight cut drop gears. So I think the drop gears were a 24 and a 23 primary, which I think gives me a 379 maybe. And then we've got something a bit different on this to the Miglias, is that this is running a throttle position sensor so that the ignition can be adjusted through the range of the throttle. So the Miglias aren't allowed to use this, so it just gives you the ability to fine-tune the mapping a bit more over just a fixed ignition. The manifold is a 6-inch manifold, I think, and John's ported all this to match the carb and the head. This is where the real bling is. So these are 1.5 roller rockers. I'll just show you the ECU and all the lube. So to run it all, got specialist components, Delta 400 ECU, which is actually capable of doing quite a lot more than this engine needs, because we've got no fueling or anything like that to be done by the ECU, but it's just ignition. So we've got a pre-terminated loom, all labelled, ready to go. So that's all plug and play, so no headaches with wiring. Yeah, nice and simple, which is what we like. So a couple of other bits still need to get. Starter motor, I've got an alternator, which is just one of the small little ones. I need to make some bracketry to try and make that work. So that is the main puzzle piece of the car, really. It's the most expensive puzzle piece of the car by a long way. I've sort of blown the whole budget I had in mind for building the car on the engine, but I think my budget for building the car was way out of whack. because I didn't really do my research before I jumped in head first. So, but I'm really happy. It's going to be, you know, it's a nice feeling to know that I'm starting off with something all brand new like this. I didn't think I would be, you know, I imagined starting off with something that I'd cobbled together myself. So this is going to put me in a good position straight away. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. If you are looking at any of this and thinking, I need a bit of that, then make sure you give John at Specialist Components a shout, and he's going to be able to help you out with anything you need to do with these A-series engines.